Welcome to the Real Conversations podcast, the podcast dedicated to real stories from successful real estate professionals, with your host, Dan Edwards.
Well, here we are. It's been a little while from our podcast. I'm here with my good friend, Adam W. Thomas, and we are going to have a real conversation, and we'll have you along. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening. I'm Dan Edwards. I'm the team leader here at Keller Williams Bothell. This is Real Conversations, where we have conversations with real estate agents. Welcome to the podcast, Adam.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
All right. So what I like to do is I like to go back to your early childhood and unpack all the trauma and things. No, wait, that's a different podcast.
Wow. Okay.
Different podcast.
I wasn't ready for that.
No, my first question is, tell me about the house you grew up in.
Yeah, I grew up in a blue-collar household. My stepdad was a manager mechanic, hardworking dude. 6 days a week dude, sometimes 7.
Mm-hmm.
Taught me work ethic. And my mom was a secretary.
Secretary.
Yeah.
So two parents working. Where did you live?
Lived in Linwood. Lived in Mill Creek, Linwood, between the two worlds. Eventually, my grandma passed away, and we got her house in Linwood, so we moved to Linwood. But pretty much grew up in apartments my whole life, actually.
Oh, okay. So it's mostly apartments.
Yeah, almost my whole entire childhood was in apartments.
Okay.
Until my grandma passed away, and then got my grandma's house.
About what age was that?
That's a good question. I think I was 13 or 14.
At 14. Okay.
Yeah.
So then what high school did you go to?
I went to Mount Lake Terrace High School.
Mount Lake Terrace High
Yeah.
School. Okay.
Yeah.
And fond memories in these house. Kind of think back to it's Thanksgiving time.
Yep.
So do you have big family Thanksgiving gatherings?
Yeah, so we did a lot of prime rib. My stepdad Dave, his prime rib was pretty infamous. And they had he built a pretty cool outdoor barbecue setup, a couple big decks. So by the time we did make it to a house, we had a nice house for hosting.
Okay. So when you graduated from high school, did you go to college?
I did go to college. I went to community college, and I actually went to Bible college.
Okay.
For a little bit.
Community, which one? Everett Community?
I went to Edmonds Community College.
Okay.
Yeah, for a couple of years, and then I went to West Coast Baptist College in Southern California.
In Southern California. What part of Southern California?
So LA towards the desert. So
okay.
Like an hour and a half.
Inland.
Lancaster,
No
California.
idea where that is. Is it near Riverside, San Bernardino?
No, it's inland, and it's like a hood. It's like where it's like the hood of the outskirts of LA.
So did you get a bachelor's degree in?
Nope. So I actually just went for 1 year at the Bible program. I never actually got a degree in anything.
Okay.
I studied communications, interpersonal communications.
Okay.
That's my strong suit. And so I figured, if you're good dribbling with the right hand, keep dribbling with the right hand, use the right hand. So interpersonal communications, but I went to Bible college just to shift in my ideology, theology, personal habits.
That happened post high school?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I was working at UPS at the time, handling boxes.
Okay.
Moving boxes, and I was working at the Maltby Cafe.
Maltby Cafe, that's a great place.
The Maltby Cafe, phenomenal. Yeah.
Cinnamon rolls.
Giant. Infamous cinnamon rolls.
Yeah. Okay, so you go down to California, spent about a year there. What brought you to that? Then you came to the Northwest, or where did you go from there?
Yeah, so I grew up in the Northwest, went to California because in the video for the college, they showed the guy standing next to the ocean.
Yeah.
And I was a surfer. And so.
Wait, you were a surfer before?
Yeah, so I.
Westport?
Westport. Yeah, you've been to Westport surfing?
Not surfing, no.
Okay, yep, surfing Westport. And then my buddies and I were heavy into Jack Johnson. So high school, I really got turned on to Jack Johnson, the musician.
I would totally suspect that about you.
Yeah. And so a lot of Jack Johnson theology permeated the culture of our friendship. And so we would drive down to California and go surfing a couple times a year. We'd load up in a car, one of our parents' cars, or if we had a junker good enough to get down there. And then I was thinking about going to college. I saw the video of the guy standing by the waves. I thought, cool, I'll go learn about the Bible and I'll go surf for a year.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
perfect.
No, drove down there with my buddies, got to the college, found out it was really conservative college, found out you weren't actually even able to go to the beach.
They wouldn't let you go?
You couldn't go to the beach because there was going to be women there in bikinis.
Right.
And so this is conservative.
Oh, no.
Yep. And so
They sold it in the video.
they sold it hard in the video.
Oh, wow.
And I literally showed up surfboard in hand and then had to send the surfboard home with my buddies because I found out pretty quickly there was going to be no surfing.
So there was like, no, you can't go to the beach.
You can't go to the beach. You can't listen to certain types of music and you can't go to the beach.
So no Jack Johnson.
No Jack Johnson, literally no Jack Johnson.
No.
No Jack, the music the CDs that you wanted to listen to, you had to get approved. And so my buddies and I had been to Hawaii and I picked up a slack key guitar. Just
Were you allowed to play that?
so I got the slack key guitar approved, and that's what got me through Bible college was Hawaii.
Well, you made it through a year.
I made it through a year.
Okay.
I made it through a year.
Wow. Yeah. There's some seriously conservative stuff out there.
Big
That's
time.
crazy.
This
And that was how long ago? 20 years ago? Yeah, 20-ish?
Yeah. I was 20 years old when I went.
Yeah.
So 40.
There's another Bible college in Southern California that's like right on the coast. What's the name of that? It'll come to me probably halfway through this podcast.
I actually went there. I saw a concert.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Biola.
Biola. Yeah.
Yep.
Like beautiful, right next to the beach.
Yep.
Maybe a little less conservative. I don't know.
Yeah, I snuck out of my college and went and saw a concert at Biola.
Oh, wow.
That was a pretty rebel move.
A pretty rebel move. All right. So what'd you learn from all that?
It was really grounding and really good for me. I grew up with all the leash, the longest leash possible, no leash really. And so I learned a lot of lessons the hard way through personal mistakes, character flaws, you name it. And Bible college was really good because I was so far left on the end of the pendulum as far as personal character, habits, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was through a big transitionary period of my life. And so I swung really right to the most conservative. And then by the time Bible college was over, I found somewhere kind of in the middle. And that was really, really beneficial to me.
So it served a good purpose.
Big time.
That's
big time. Really thankful for it.
Yeah. And I would say this, like from a standpoint of seasons in life, right? There are some seasons where if you didn't have that pendulum swinging that far right, bad things happen.
I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have made it. It would have been consequential if I had not taken that time to go kind of live as a monk.
Okay. Yeah. I guess that would be what that equates to in the Christian religion is.
Yep.
Yeah. Just going to a super conservative Bible college.
Yeah.
So then what happened there? What led you back to the Northwest?
Yeah. So I love the Northwest, grew up here, been here my whole life. And I've, at this point I've been all over the world, and there's nothing like the Pacific Northwest as far as the mountains, the ocean. I'm a really big ocean person. The mountains, the ocean, the rivers, it's fresh. The water's clean. California, you can't drink water out of the tap. I hate any water in California.
It's our water that we send down to them through lots of aquifers. And
Okay. Good point.
I don't know.
Well, maybe there's something to that. But the Northwest is just fresh. Families here, friends are here. I've always been a Pacific Northwest person. I've just always loved it here.
Is that when you decided to get into real estate?
No, good question. So outside of when I got back from Bible college, I got a job at Nordstrom selling women's shoes. And that was probably one of the biggest game changers for me, career-wise, life-wise. Because the level of customer service, the understanding of customer service, I had always been a great worker. I've never been fired from a job. I've always had a job since I was 14. I started working when I was 14, selling coupon books. But I've always been a great worker. I've always learned a lot and extracted a lot from each job. But Nordstrom was the most as far as their theology, how they take care of the customer, actually how they put the customer first, how you have to show up, how they expect you to show up. Man, that was invaluable as far as shaping me into the person that I am, but how that translated into real estate. So when I was 18, 19, 20, I had a friend of mine who met a real estate. He was working at Sears selling tractors and barbecues, and he met a real estate agent named Lee Gallaher.
I know.
Yeah, legend real estate agent.
Yes.
And he met Lee Gallaher, and Lee Gallaher liked my friend so much. My friend is like, he's older than he really is. He just has this, he's the guru. We all kind of call him the guru in our friendship, but
He's an old soul.
He's an old soul, but he's just got wisdom. He's got a lot of wisdom, and reads a lot of books, does a lot of traveling. But Lee spotted him. He knew that this guy was something special, and Lee kind of had a talent for that. And so Lee hired him to come set the barbecue up at his house. And through my friend selling him the barbecue, going to his house and setting it up, Lee, his suspicion was correct. This guy was special. And so they developed a friendship mentorship, and Lee would go to Lee would go to somebody selling their house for maybe $300,000. He'd say, you can sell your house for $300,000. If you put 10 grand into it, we'll sell it for $350. Do it like splash and dash, paint, yard work. So then Lee would go to my friend Junior, and then Junior would go to me, Junior's brother, my buddy Chris, and we had a little crew, and we were doing splash and dash projects in real estate for Lee.
Wow.
Getting a firsthand experience into where to put your money, what matters, what shows, how to develop curb appeal. And that was my introduction to the real estate world. And that also opened up the doors to doing construction and doing my own real estate investing. Lee convinced us to buy a house at 21, and
that's awesome. This is all when you were 21.
This is when I was 21. I bought my first house.
That's awesome.
Under the guidance of Lee with my buddies. It was like our investment, and I kind of backtracked before the Nordstrom thing because during the Nordstrom time, I kept doing side projects. I kept doing real estate related projects.
Yeah. So this was getting your feet wet, basically.
It was getting my feet wet, and the cool thing about Nordstrom as well is they give you a lot of like leeway. They give you the product and they give you the platform, and then you create the business. You build your book of business. So you learn a lot about building business, personal relationships. But they also, for me, they would let me leave for a month, 2 months, and go surfing, go traveling, go whatever, and then come back and have a job.
So I want to unpack something here. Is Nordstrom's created a platform, but it was up to you to create the customers that kept coming back, the raving fans that service the customers. What about their system changed the way you thought?
Yeah. The first thing was just the level of customer service. Your follow-up and your follow-through is everything. Like, I'll give you a quick story about a Nordstrom story that was ingrained in the culture of Nordstrom. There was a Nordstrom store, and before it was a Nordstrom store, it was a tire store. And a guy had bought tires from the tire store. The tire store went out of business. Nordstrom bought it and started a shoe store there. Well, some years later, this old man who had bought tires there had a problem with his tires, one of his tires that he had bought when it was a tire store. And he comes into the Nordstrom store a little bit confused at why it's not a tire store anymore, ends up making his way to the manager of the store and explains to them that this is a tire store, money's tight, I don't know what to do. He's in this stuck situation, and he had this bad tire essentially that he was trying to return to the store that he bought it from. Well, long story short, Nordstrom ended up actually letting the man return the tire to Nordstrom, and they paid him the value of the tire to further the point of servicing the customer at all costs. And so there's many, many, many more stories like that, but that impacted me. That showed me, not just the highest level, but an even further level of customer service that I didn't even really contemplate or know existed. But how they help you build your businesses, you were commission based, so your production is your paycheck, and so they had this personal book system where you would keep who your customers were, how much they shopped with you, and what they bought. And then we would have events, we would have private customer events or whatever, and it was your job to follow up with your customers and invite them into these events.
Yeah.
And so it's my introduction to relationship-based business, which is what real estate is.
Yeah.
It's relationship-based business.
Yeah, 100%.
And what I also learned from that is when a person walks in, your level of service that you give to them, your ability to meet their need, to service their need, is going to provide you business down the road. Like, it's not just a transaction. Don't just get them in, get them out. Don't just bring up the shoes. Invest in them, learn about them, build a relationship with them. And through working there and building those relationships, understanding the value of learning the details about their kids, what they're going through. Why are you buying shoes today? Oh, it's a funeral. And then next time you see them, how you doing? How you doing? Or oh, it's my daughter's birthday. And then remembering the birthdays, remembering the details, investing in people's lives. Like,
that's it. I mean, it's pretty simple, right? But it's just a little bit of an extra mile. That's why Nordstrom charges as much as they do. What was your biggest paycheck in a month at Nordstrom? If you can think back. I've never been like a big time producer. My biggest paycheck at Nordstrom was probably during the anniversary sale, and maybe I made $4,000 in commission.
Maybe I made $4,000.
I'm sure there's people making more.
There is.
And maybe you can change your affirmation is, I am a big producer. Right?
Well, yes. I mean, I can. I have the ability, I have the aptitude to produce big.
Yeah. At that time, you're in your 20s, you're doing enough so that you can go hit your surfing trip next month.
That's exactly it.
Right?
That's
what you were doing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, things may have changed. Okay, so now you've got this experience at Nordstrom. How do you get into real estate?
Yeah, so real estate led me into it. I didn't choose real estate. Real estate chose you.
Dude, I love that.
It really did, and it was through meeting Lee and doing the Splash and Dash, and then there was a time in between. So I on and off worked at Nordstrom for about 10 years. I had a couple other jobs and a couple other changes in life. But at one point I was working construction, learning how to build decks, do tile work, do all that kind of stuff. And the husband for Mike and Gail, the sweetest people, for old Montana, ranchers. But Mike ran a construction business, and his wife Gail did a staging business. And so when construction was going on, we were doing construction. But then we would also have to pause and go help Gail load up a box truck full of furniture and go hang pictures and move stuff. And so it was a really small mom and pops thing, but working for Lee, and then I worked construction, and then I did staging. And so like all of these things were priming me to be in real estate and understand real estate. And I didn't know, and I didn't, plus I bought my first house at 21. I bought another house at 24.
You already saw the value of real estate as a wealth mechanism. You already saw it that way. Or were you seeing it that way, or you just seeing the opportunity?
No, I was seeing that way. And like when I bought my first house at 21, we bought a house that needed work intentionally because we really knew through my friend's dad, who was really good at adding sweat equity, any house that, and I just watched my friend Junior, actually, his dad would buy a house and he would add an additional. He'd add bedrooms, bathrooms. And he was a big sweat equity guy. He was a big take something, polish it up, make it better. And then you'll gain, for every $1 you spend in material, you'll gain $5 in value. And so I watched that happen. And then buying my first house, adding value, sweat equity, buying a condo in Edmonds that was completely gross, fixing it up, adding value through equity. And like, I learned that was my greatest lesson, was like, wow, like the most common person can build wealth through just, learning how to put floors in or tile a bathroom or, and so I'm kind of chasing rabbits here, but
you were saying real estate's choosing you. So all these things are happening, but what was the moment where you're like, I got to get in, I'm getting in?
Yeah. So I met my now wife when I worked at Nordstrom, I actually sold her shoes. And her dad, Matt, and her mom started this Keller Williams office. They were one of the the Bothell office. They were one of the founding owners of it. And so I had been dating my wife for a while, and her dad was like, hey, you can sell shoes and make 10% of $250 a shoe, or you can sell a house and make 3% of a $500,000 house.
Right.
And really pushed me to do it. And I always kind of thought that I might end up in it. But through his kind of like pushing me, and also
he's protecting his daughter.
Yeah, he's protecting his daughter. And also, like, I knew eventually that I was going to have to kind of scale up a little bit, and get, a job where I maybe had a little bit more opportunity. And I knew that I could only go so high at Nordstrom for my abilities and skill set, and, unless I got into corporate or whatever the case may be, which isn't a really good fit for me. But I knew that, like, man, real estate really has no ceiling. Mm-hmm. There is really no max on what you can make.
Oh.
And so anyway, so I transitioned. I came to Keller Williams Bothell in 2016, I think it was. Got my license, was still working at Nordstrom, and kind of the rest is history.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so you've been selling real estate since 2016.
Yeah.
So if you were to talk to a brand new agent just getting started, and you take your story and you put it into Adam W. Thomas's words of wisdom, what's one thing that somebody really needs to focus on in order to be successful in this business?
Yeah. For me personally, the most important thing that somebody can do is develop a real relationship with the people that you're working with. Mm-hmm. Be your authentic self and take care of them. It's not a transaction. Mm. It's not a transaction. The transaction is the smallest part of it. The person is the most important part. Educate them. I overshare. I'm an over talker, as you can probably tell just through the.
Well, yeah, this is longer than most podcasts. I'm just kidding.
Okay. But I am. I'm a talker, man, and get me going, and I'll go a million different ways. But in the business of real estate, this is people's nest. This is their biggest asset, and this is their nest. And there's so much emotions and psychology that's involved in this business. There's obviously, you need to know the market. You need to know. You need to know your forms. You need to know your contracts. Yeah. I mean, you're practicing law. You're a lawyer. You're not a lawyer, but you're practicing law in a sense.
Yes, limited practice of law, but it is legal documents you are completing.
And your mistake, your tiny little mistake that you can miss in a document can cost tens of thousands of dollars. And so for me, the customer, the client, servicing them, building a relationship with them, educating them, having a personal relationship with them. That is like absolutely the number one most important thing. You have to know your contracts. Like, I was really blessed when I came into the office, especially like at Keller Williams, you have to have a designated broker go through all of your contracts for the first 2 years. So you're not sending something out with having somebody who's really experienced go, hey, miss this.
Right.
And when I came through, Scott Ferris was I'm not sure if you know who that is.
I do.
Okay. But he was the designated broker at the time, and I developed a really good personal relationship with Scott Ferris. He took a liking to me, and because of that, he gave me way more attention than I probably I know I was deserved.
Yeah.
But he taught me the importance. He went through contracts with me line for line for line. Mm-hmm. And he said, go to every contract class that you can. You have to learn this stuff.
Yeah.
And so I did. I took it really seriously. He really scared me. Like, if how I could mess up, and I didn't want to mess up.
What's funny about that is sometimes I have agents that they don't even read the contracts yet. Like they haven't sat down to like read through them to understand them. Because really, if you do read them, you're going to learn a lot.
Yeah.
And then you can highlight all the spot, like, I don't understand the sentence. And then Brian, who is our current broker, he's got 3 classes a month plus forms classes weekly. We have stuff to do that, to cover it. So that's a pretty amazing career so far.
Yeah.
You've stepped into leadership this year. How about an experienced agent? Maybe an experienced agent that they're just happy where they're at, and why would you encourage them to come to an office like the Bothell office?
Yeah. The culture is really the biggest thing. I think Bothell tries to share wisdom and information and expertise.
Mm-hmm. Agents amongst each other.
Yeah. And you just brought up Brian a moment ago. Brian's our designated broker. Brian will pour out as much information as possible to try to help somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And for a new agent or a seasoned agent, having somebody that's so willing to take a time out of their day to give you information, as well as like, Aaron B, who's in land, or Rick, who's the master guru of open houses, or yourself. You've been in the business a long time. You've been in leadership positions, and you really want to help people find their best self,
mm-hmm.
and that shows in the conversations. And there's just a lot of people in this office, from tech knowledge to open house knowledge to contract knowledge to marketing. There's so much information sharing, and that's one. I haven't been to any other office. It's the only office I've ever worked at.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I get calls weekly to go to other offices, just jump ship, come on over here. We'll help you, make you better. And I just really like the culture, and I really like the sharing. I like to share. I want to help people succeed.
Collaborative.
There's collaborative.
Remember we talked about co-ops?
Yeah. I like the co-op business model.
Yeah.
Business name.
But it's very much a collaborative environment. For a brand new agent to experienced agents, is people are knocking on doors and getting help, and then the resources are great.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to finish off, so you're a Northwest guy, it's Thanksgiving. Are there a tradition that you partake of this time of year that somebody listening to this would be like, hey, I should go check that out? That's uniquely Adam W. Thomas.
Yeah. It used to be Turkey Bowl. I'm a little old for Turkey.
Are you though?
Turkey Bowl football.
Are you? Come on.
I'm not the same man I once was, Dan. I'm 40 now.
Oh my God. I was having the same conversation with some other 40-year-old who was complaining about a joint sore, and I crushed him in the workout. I was like, dude, just stop whining.
Yeah.
You're 40, I'm 50.
Yeah, and I probably do need to stop whining, but
no. You crushed it in pickleball.
Yeah, I definitely did. We had a pickleball tournament. Yeah. I got number 1.
Yep.
So
you did.
I'm gonna glow a little bit. Pacific Northwest, Thanksgiving time. I don't know. I just, for me, a couple weeks ago was prime leaf season.
Oh yeah.
Foliage.
Yes.
And so taking that drive out to Leavenworth is always.
That's awesome.
That's always like this season in the Northwest is. I love
that.
Yeah,
Do you go up Bicycle Road?
I have been up Bicycle Road, and I've hiked the Enchantments.
Yeah.
But honestly, just the drive into Leavenworth
mm-hmm.
is amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I think we did it early October, and it was like just leaves like red and orange and burgundy and everything, and it's awesome.
It's hard to beat.
Yeah,
it's hard to beat. So the foliage is definitely probably one of my favorite times, and the salmon spawning.
Oh yeah.
We have a river. I live in Arlington. There's a river right by our house, and we've been going down to the river, bring the kids down to the river, and man, you can watch the salmon just
flopping up there.
Yeah. So
to their doom.
That's what. Well, it's the cycle of life.
It goes on. Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. Well, Adam, thank you for your time. It's a pleasure getting to know you even more, and I appreciate you in this office, and have a very happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.